How long do you think you should wait before having sex with somebody? How long do you like to wait?
I like to wait. If I actually see a potential of a relationship and I want to be in a relationship, I wait a while, I would say. More than the average person.
So if you see a potential for a relationship...
And I want a relationship.
You'll wait.
Yes.
Coincidingly, though, if you don't see a potential for a relationship, you will... you're willing to have sex immediately.
If I'm like traveling and
Sure.
yeah, I want to have experiences, yes.
Okay, so when you're
And
traveling...
if I want sex, yes.
Yeah, and you just were traveling, correct?
Yes.
You were in Europe, you said you were in Spain. Did you go to any other countries or just stuck? Okay.
I went. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're just traveling, so you don't have any qualms with having sex with someone immediately? Like, okay, while you were in Europe, like, was there just like some dude, maybe you were at a party or something, I don't know, and like an hour later, like you guys are hooking up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But if you mark the person as somebody you want to have something long term with, then do you have a sense of how long you'd like to wait?
Depends on the person.
Do you have an estimate, like a couple weeks, couple days, a couple months?
I've done a couple months before.
You've done a couple months
Yeah.
before. Okay. Is that recently or? Wait, but I thought you oh no, you did have a 1-year relationship, correct? Okay, was that the 1 year?
Yeah.
So your 1-year relationship, you're 20, correct?
Yeah.
How old were you when you had the 1-year relationship?
18.
18. Was this in high school or?
It was like the end
of high school? Okay. Now, prior to the 1-year relationship, did you have any of those experiences where it was just kind of more fun and?
No, not really.
No? Okay, so your 1-year relationship, was that the first guy that you had ever been with?
First guy I've ever had sex with.
Okay, first guy you ever had sex with. Okay, so I mean, that changes things a little bit because I mean, so it was your first time having sex, you were a virgin, so you waited a little bit. But after that relationship, you're more open to just having sex immediately.
I'm still not really that type of person.
Well, you just said when
like
you were...
if I'm traveling and stuff, if I'm not, but I'm not
okay.
looking.
No wonder why we don't want them traveling.
I'm not, but I'm living in a place for 4 or 6 months. I know that, like, it's not going to be a long-term relationship for me with Michael. It's not going to work out.
Okay,
Like,
I see.
It's not like I'm going out there and I'm looking for people to hook up with. If there's,
Right.
If you had a long-term boyfriend, would you go traveling
Yes.
by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that he would be reasonable to have objections to that?
Hopefully he wouldn't, or he would travel with me.
But you would go traveling by yourself, though.
I would.
with a boyfriend.
100%.
And he's at home.
I mean, if he doesn't want to come, yeah. Also, it's healthy to have those things. I would not give up traveling at this point in my life to stay at home, to be in a relationship.
Okay. So I'm curious. So for example, like you just were traveling. It sounds like you just had some of these short-term, like casual experiences. Now that how long have you been back here in Santa Barbara, in California? Or not just back home?
A month.
You've been back home a month. Okay. Less than a month or what? Oh, I thought you were like shaking your head or something like.
Oh no, I was just cracking my neck.
Oh, okay.
Or you just.
Okay, so now that you're back here, are you trying to, do you think, okay, the next guy that you potentially see as having a relationship with, are you going to want to wait to have sex with him?
Yes.
Okay. Just off of the back of having a string of short, like immediate casual sexual encounters?
I mean, there weren't that many, but yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, how many?
Over the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Like 4.
Like 4? 5?
Plus or minus? No.
Plus or minus? Okay. Okay, 4.
At least 4.
Is it conceivable that guy who you are potentially eyeballing for a long-term relationship, and let's say he wants to have sex, but you're like, no, I want a long-term. I really like you. I want it to be serious. If he knows that your previous standard was, well, when I'm in Europe, I'll fuck the guy immediately. Do you anticipate that a guy might object to that?
I hope that he wouldn't. I hope he would respect my boundaries. And also,
But do you realize that you only have boundaries for him, though?
also when you guys say fuck immediately and have sex immediately, that's not always what happened in Europe.
Oh,
Like a lot of
but-
the
but-
time when I say casual, it was like friends
Yeah.
that turned into more. Not relationships, but more
Yeah.
than that. It's not like I don't know.
Well, but it sounded like, I mean, I asked you, I think if, you had hooked up within like
Yeah.
an hour of meeting somebody.
That happened twice.
Twice, right.
Yeah. So then your boyfriend's gonna have that standard in mind when he wants to.
He's getting different treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Might
the
think
guys in Europe I wasn't pursuing long-term relationships with, but I am.
It almost occurs to me though, if this is somebody that you see for with long-term potential, wouldn't that be the guy who's more deserving of having like sleeping with sooner?
No.
Like, wouldn't you? But if you like really like the guy, wouldn't you want to have sex with him?
I would.
Because to me, it seems like you're almost gamifying. It's like you're playing a game.
No, I would definitely want to have
So why would you, if you don't have any sort of objections to sleeping with somebody fast, because you don't, why would you make a potential boyfriend wait to have sex?
because I would want to make sure that we're in a relationship that's based on much more than just sex or much more than just my body.
But why can't you simultaneously, like you're using it as like the carrot on a stick.
No.
Why can't you simultaneously build a relationship and have sex at the same time?
You definitely can, but I would just wait.
But you have
longer.
no like moral objections to sleeping with someone quickly. So I just don't understand. Like it's not like you're religious and you're waiting until marriage because that's like your moral or religious point of view.
Yeah.
Can I pitch in?
Well, I'd like to,
Okay.
but you can add to it in a bit, but I'm trying to get an answer from her.
Well, for me, I mean, sex, like, it is very meaningful.
Is it though?
Yes, even when I've hooked, yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. For me, sex is meaningful.
But so why the different standard for, if that is the case, why engage in casual sexual encounters?
Because I'm on a different side of the world. I'm 20. I'm living life. I want to experience that. I haven't done it before. I want to experience hookup culture. It was fine. Like,
Okay.
but it's for me like a long-term relationship that's serious.
Okay.
And I want to really get to know the person. I want to make sure that we're compatible intellectually, compatible emotionally, compatible, like that. And it also makes the sex better. as
Sure,
well, when
but
we do have sex.
but all those things you listed, if you were to have sex with them on the same timeline that you've had sex with these casual encounters, that wouldn't preclude you from any of those other things that you want to explore with a partner.
Can I give one example?
Absolutely. Go
So,
ahead.
how would you feel if would you prefer someone to buy you a really nice gift, an expensive gift, or take you for a weekend away?
Take me for a weekend away.
Okay. How would you feel if you were dating a guy and all you wanted was for him to take you for a nice weekend away, but he made you wait 3 months, and then you found out that 5 other girls, he took them for a nice weekend away straight away? How would that make you feel?
I mean, I would just ask him, why did you what is it about me that made you not want to take me away? If this is what you were doing with all the other girls, I'd be like, oh, maybe I'm not like all the other girls then,
Well, it's kind of a special thing to take someone away for a weekend. So would you feel that maybe he doesn't have the same sort of burning desire to spend that time with you?
I mean, I'd have to communicate with him about it.
But
I don't know.
do you think, like, logically, that would mean that he doesn't have the desire to want to spend that time with you straight away?
No.
Because for us, it's like a woman's body is very sacred. So if I want to be in a relationship with a girl and she says to me, "You're going to wait," if you're Logan Paul though, and like and you find out that she's slept with a bunch of different guys straight away, then you're going to feel like she just doesn't really have that desire for you.
Then
Did you see the whole Logan Paul situation?
No.
So Logan Paul's wife, they went on podcast together, and she was saying how, I made him wait, and he was saying, yeah, like that's how I knew she was the one. And then he was fighting a guy, and then the guy Dylan Dennis came out with all of these photos of all these guys that she'd been with, and it turns out she hadn't exactly been so tempered with her body before that. So then Logan Paul got taken the piss
But these
out
are
of.
different people. Like in my life, it's someone who I have a deeper connection with, and I want to, I want to have that deep connection with, versus, a night out in Europe. Like it's just a whole different realm.
Yeah. So
And
you're thinking it very much from your perspective, though. It's kind of I'm not really hearing much empathy with how the guy might feel, because whether they admit it or not, like us guys have big egos, right? So when we have our girl, if we find out that she's given it away to guys really easily beforehand with us, and then she made us wait, it makes us look like a mug. And then other people, when they see that, like if I saw my mate and he was with a girl and he's like, yeah, man, I think she's the one, she's making me wait. And then Brian was like, no, I hit it first night. I would think that like my friend was like a bit of a mug getting made to wait like that.
really,
So guys
That's
have guys have that politics, and maybe you're not aware of it, but
I think it depends
you
on
have
the
to
guy.
think about the ego of the man that you're.
I think it depends on the ego of the man.
Well, and to add to what Jake is saying, it's kind of like the way we might view it is, women often, for example, might complain about fuckboys, right? So you reward the fuckboys who will never give you commitment with immediate sex, and you're going to punish the guys worthy of a relationship by making them wait weeks, months, or even until marriage. And look, ultimately, it's certainly your prerogative. If you want to have 100 previous sexual partners, you slept with them, 100 previous sexual partners, you slept with them on the first date, and then the next guy, we're waiting until marriage. That's 100% you're right. We're coming at it from the guy's perspective of, hey, 100% you're right. If that was your previous standard, all the other guys you slept with immediately, now you want to make me wait for marriage, that's your right. But we're going to view that in a certain type of way of like, you're not the girl for. A lot of guys are going to feel a certain type of way about that. They're going to have an issue with that.
Yep.
And it does seem to me to be, I don't know if it's a bit of a double standard to some degree. Like you have not in the typical sense of a double standard, but you have one standard for this cohort of men and a different standard for another cohort of men. So, yeah.
Can I make a comment on something you guys said?
Sure.
Please.
So when you guys were talking about like, she's the one because she waited to sleep with you, maybe that's why like a lot of women, I think also if I'm trying to pursue a guy in a relationship, I want, like, a lot of guys' perspectives are, oh, she's gonna make me wait, so she's the one. If I'm trying to pursue this guy, I want to be the one, you know? So I'll be like, oh, it will show a good it's a good foot forward if I don't sleep with him on the first date, because that means when I'm interested in him,
I'd say
I want to hear about him. Like, it's not just about sex for me.
Yeah, I'd say you've got a good point in terms of the fact that you want to present yourself as somebody who's a long-term partner.
Yeah.
However, you have to be very wary of your past coming back to bite you in that regard. In terms of if he's a proud guy and he finds out that actually, in fact, you didn't make other people wait, then that's going to be an issue. But if you're somebody who has a track record of making people wait, or if you're somebody who's saving themselves to a marriage, for example, then a guy's going to really respect that.
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
I think that it sets up a completely different dynamic what you choose to do. So if you're sleeping with a guy on the first date and you know you don't want anything serious, you're letting him know that. I think there's an understanding when you're going into a date or pursuing someone in a relationship that both of you are waiting. Sure, one more person might be eager, but there's an understanding that you're getting to know one another. In the past, like if I've slept with someone earlier after getting to know them, that never results in a relationship. That leads into a situationship or friends with benefits. And I think that waiting structures a successful relationship.
I get it, but I guess I do get what you're saying. And you do want to set a precedent, but you can't really have your cake and eat it, because if that's not your standard all the time, then it can't be your standard for me. And my personal standards, and like a lot of the guys who I know, would be the exact same like that.
So are you saying that if you ever did a one night stand in your life, that you no longer you're not up to standards to have a relationship if the girl wants to wait? If you once in your life had a one night stand, and then you meet someone that you want to pursue a relationship with, and she wants to wait, but you didn't wait in the past.
If her standard was that she always makes people wait, and if she didn't respect the fact that I had one night stands, then that would be fair enough if she didn't want to do that.
Okay.
Niklicious donated $200. Hello to all. I wonder where the podcast will go this time.
That is a good question.
I do too.
Who knows? Who knows where it will go? Maybe someone will pull out.
No,
a
I do see your point. I think
Oh, God,
a lot of guys would say, oh yeah, men and women are different. And men and women are different in that regard when it comes to promiscuity and sleeping around. But I would say that if I met a woman and she was like a woman of high moral principle and she said, I've waited so much and I've resisted so much temptation and you've done this, this and that, sorry, I would understand because my past has come back to bite me.
Sure, but do you yourself feel like these one night stands made you ineligible for a good relationship?
They probably did affect it, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Even like guys are different. I do think that guys are different to girls in that regard. But I would say that definitely, if you look at a person who's like a really devout Christian or Muslim the whole life and they wait till marriage, then they're going to be of a different. They're going to think about sex and relationships and everything very differently. But the world that we live in, we're surrounded by so much temptation and so much freedom and liberty and Yas Queen and everything that it's very hard to sort of fend off that temptation sometimes. So, yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
Mm. Yeah, and I mean, as far as, and I think there's certainly a scope to it too. I mean, you said if a girl had one night stand, and then moving on from there, her new standard became, well, I'm gonna wait for all my future partners. I think that's a little different than a girl who's perhaps had multiple casual engagements. Say she has had 10, 20, 30 of the 10, 20, 30 guys she's had sex with, that she all did it immediately. Then, oh, this is the guy I want to be in a relationship with. I want to wait 3 months, 90-day rule or something like that. It doesn't come across as like an actual authentic standard. It just seems like you've just totally, and it's your prerogative to shift, but we're not saying women shouldn't be allowed to do that. And of course, you should, if you want to change for the better, fantastic. But don't expect men to accept your past. We also have a right to discernment and judgment, just as you do. And we're allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries. So, did you have something on this?
Yes.
Okay.
I just lost my train of thought though.
Oh, I can keep going, and then if you want to think about
Keep
it,
going,
okay.
sure.
Yeah. So I have a couple examples here that I could give you that might be able to like paint it a little bit. So here's an analogy, sort of the inverse. The telling your date that so all the exes got 5-star meals, but she gets McDonald's, because you've turned over a new leaf and decided that money has better uses than just trying to impress people. That's one example. So you're on a date with a guy, you know that he took all his previous ex-girlfriends that he dated, all the other girls he's seen, on these really elaborate, really nice dinners, and he doesn't have any financial issues or anything. He took them on fantastic dinners, spent $100-200, but he takes you to McDonald's.
I have something to say to that. What if that man was fine with taking all these women out to nice dinners because he didn't want anything with this girl, and then he finds a girl he likes and he wants to make sure she's not a gold digger, so he takes her to McDonald's? That's exactly what women are saying, that sometimes
So you'd be cool with that, is what you're saying?
if that's his reasoning, if later on he does take me out to a nice dinner, we have this conversation.
But like, don't worry about later on. First of all, you know that this man chops out. He goes for the filet mignon, and he tells her to wear a nice red dress, and they go out and they hit the town. Your turn comes around, and it's Macca's.
But I think
And he says, I'm going to make sure you're not a gold digger.
I think where this differs is, are you saying this, if this man knows that you've had these one night stands, you've slept around, and he doesn't want to pursue you, that's completely okay. I don't
But
think,
like, no. Like, stick to the question for a second.
Sure.
Would you be okay with that situation? And then him saying to you, I'm not taking you because I want to make sure you're not a gold digger.
yeah.
Did he make sure that everyone else is not a gold digger?
But he didn't want to pursue
How do you know
them
that?
past. Well, that's what we're saying. We're saying, like, if the,
But don't you
it is a
think
comparison.
don't you think there'd be a double standard though? If he said to you, look, first date we're going to Macca's, just want to make sure you're not a gold digger, but then you're thinking to yourself, but you took everyone else to the filet mignon.
I think it would be a double standard if he didn't plan to see me again the same way.
But you
that
don't know what
I'm-
he's thinking though. This is just objective, looking at it straight up. There's 5 ducks in a row. One of them is black.
Sure, but you can't make that comparison when this whole conversation has been that what differs between a relationship and one night stands is because when some of these girls might sleep with them right away, they're not envisioning a relationship. They don't want to see them past this 1 hookup, 2 hookups.
But like,
So
don't
you
you
can't
think that
just
don't you
separate
think that
those
there's
comparisons.
something that you're giving away that's special there? That's what we're trying to get at. When we're saying he's done this special act for 4 other girls, and then you come around, and then you're not getting that special act just yet. You have to wait for it.
I think there's different ideas of special. Sure, I think everyone thinks that sex is special, but I also feel like letting someone in to know my personality is also special. So like if I'm waiting a few weeks with someone that I want to date, they're getting to know me more than any of these other people are getting to know me, which I think in its way is special. And some people don't care about sex, you know? So other people's do. It's very much so based on individual people.
Do you think for the most part though that guys are going to care about that?
Yeah,
Guys are going to care about who you've slept with, especially if they know the people.
Yeah, and
It's gonna be an issue.
I think it's okay for them to care. I think it's okay for them to judge. I know we women, we also judge. I don't want to date someone with a huge body count, tons of one-night stands. I think that goes both ways. You have a right to judge. You have a right to leave. But in the conversation of how we're feeling, we're just explaining that when we want a relationship with someone and we don't, things differ.
Yeah, right. I get that how you guys feel about it though, but do you empathize with how the guy feels about
Sure,
it?
and
That's the different
And
part.
I'm saying they have a right to not be interested. They have a right to leave. I'm not saying they have to stick it through.
What's if you're dating somebody, say for the first few months or whatever it is, what are the most important factors to that? What's the most important thing for you that just says, is this guy worth dating or is he not?
Honesty. Yeah.
Anything else?
Loyalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he was not honest and loyal with you at the start, but you know that he was honest and loyal with 5 other girls, would that upset you?
Yeah, but that is not a comparison to.
Why not?
You can't
Well,
compare
you just said
this-
it's most important. For one of the things that's most
Sure,
important for
if-
me is that she hasn't slept with a lot of people.
That's acceptable. If that's what's most important to you, then absolutely.
Right.
I'm not denying what you're saying or that you can get upset. That's not my argument at all.
But then, so I guess at the end of the day, we kind of do agree in a way
Yeah.
because we're both allowed to have our standards. But the problem is that I get where you guys are coming from. Sometimes I don't really think that you girls really get where we're coming from though. Like why we have those objections. And you tend to think about it from your own prism. But go on.